What is going on, everybody? How you doing? I'll be there in 1 second.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.
Hello, guys. What's going on? Welcome to Freaky News Friday with your host, me, Shadows, or Missy, whatever. You know how we do here. Anyway, I hope all is well with you guys. First things first, I want to update everybody. I got thinking, because I don't know if you guys do, but a lot of you watch my weekly tarot readings, and I haven't been keeping up on them. You know the whole deal of what's going on. So anyway, if you're a newbie, if not, I was working a lot. Let's put it that way. Anyway, what's going on is basically if you're a regular in my channel and you're here for like Tarot Tuesday, when I read for people, I have all my decks laid out in a crazy, my desk is all messed up. But anyway, um, and I go to the decks which call to me at that particular moment. So I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, with my weekly readings, why am I not doing that? Why am I not doing it the same way I normally do my tarot readings? I'm very unique when it comes to stuff like that. I call or I go to what calls to me, right? So I'm thinking, well, hell, if I'm going to do that, why not do that in my weekly readings? So my weekly readings are going to be a little bit different, guys. I'm going to use the decks that call to me, just like the other, just like my normal readings to you guys. Um, I'm still going to have the different, like the general reading, the home life, love life, social life, the financial, and then some advice cards or warnings. Still gonna have that stuff, just a different deck might call to me. So, with that being said, that's the update that I wanted to share with you guys. Just a quick little update. And with that being said, let's get to Freaky News Friday. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the world of weekly weird news. Maybe, if it'll let me play it. There we go. It's not very big, is it? Let's go ahead and zoom that in a little bit. So, we've heard of cryogenics, obviously, about after you die, people will freeze you. Supposedly, Walt Disney is in a cryogenic place, froze to death, all that stuff. Well, Russia has jumped on board with it. So, Russian firm will freeze your brain when you die. Looking for a way to cheat death, it says? This firm will freeze your mortal remains in a vat of liquid nitrogen for a fee, of course. Known as Cryorust, the company which is situated just outside the Russian capital, Moscow, currently has around 71 patients who have volunteered to have either their brain or their whole body frozen in hopes that science will eventually discover a way to bring them back to life. Now, question for you guys. If you're listening or watching somewhere else, when I ask questions and that, check out my YouTube, and leave your comments down below on my YouTube. Because I want to know what you guys think. I love picking brains. If you're new to my channel, you know that you won't know because you've never been here before. But I love picking brains. I love having an interesting conversation. And when I do the Freaky News Friday, usually it's live, but we're going to do this and then we're going to have a discussion about it sometime this week, coming up about it. And I want to know what you guys think. Would you have, if you had a choice to come back in the future, A, would you? Um, and B, would you just opt for the brain and hope for a better body or freeze your whole body? What would you do? I'd like to know. Me, I don't think I want to be coming back. I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll see when I get closer to death, I guess. I don't know. At 46, I'm not really thinking about that. I mean, I do, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? So what would you guys do? Would you do the brain or a whole new body, or your whole body, I should say? Because what are they going to put the brain in? Like, where are they getting these new bodies? I don't know. You let me know. You let me know down in the comments. So to prevent the bodies from deteriorating, they're stored at a cool 196 degrees Celsius. One customer, Alexei Voronikov, already has his 70-year-old mother's remains frozen upon her death and plans to become a resident at the facility when he eventually dies as well. So it could be a family thing, you know, keep you all in one little room. I don't know. I did this because we're very close, and I think it's the only chance for us to meet in the future, he said. I hope one day it reaches a level where we can produce artificial bodies and organs to create an artificial body, where my mother's brain can be integrated. I can talk. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here. So here's the price, guys. It's currently cost Russian customer $36,000 to freeze a body and $15,000 to preserve just the brain. However, the firm service also is available to foreign customers at a, of course, slightly increased cost. I might have to. I want to find out where their if you freeze your brain, what body do they use? Or are they waiting until, I don't know. I don't know. So what do you guys think about this? Would you do it? I want to know. All right, so we go on to the next. That's crazy. So the next article we have is an ancient Inca idol. I would try to say that, but you know, let's see. Come on, computer, work with me here. Oh, that's a little too much. Maybe. Oh, that's good. Now you get 4 free ebooks. All right, so ancient Inca idol. I'm not going to try Paca Kamana. I don't know. Idol whispers secrets of warrior past or warrior past. An ancient, deeply spiritualized wooden idol of the Adian earthmaker Pachacamac. Hopefully that's right. Pachacamac. Yeah. Once worshipped as the Temple of the Sun, a 30,000 square meter step pyramid at the Pachacamac sacred site. I hope you don't say that 3 times fast and 3 times and he shows up, because I think I just said it 3 times. But anyway, this is in Peru. It's thought that the Spanish conquistadors who sacked the temple in 1533 destroyed the ancient idol. However, in 1938, an intricately carved wooden post depicting Pachacamac was discovered at the archaeological dig site. So they re-examined it. It's a Incan doll, but it was not originally Inca. Right? So that's weird. This is the dig site that they found it at. The ruins of Pachacamac Pacacamac, an ancient archaeological site in the Pacific coast just south of Lima, Peru. Terence D. Ultri's 2000 book, The Incas, tell us that after the Battle of Cajamarca, on 5th of January, 1533, he sent his brother and 14 horsemen to Pacacamac to collect its gold riches. However, in advance of the invasion of the solar priests ordered the Virgin Mamaconos to leave the Temple of the Sun with more than 400 loads, each 60 pounds of gold, which was buried. It makes perfect sense that the Temple of the Sun was emptied to protect its treasures. It also makes perfect sense that the central wooden Pacamac idol would have been removed and buried at that time. Understandable. I mean, you're hiding your riches. Why wouldn't you hide your idols either? You know. Excuse me, need a little coffee there. Now that the Site Museum in Peru has conducted what Yurkula call a never-before-seen non-invasive and non-destructive analysis of the idols, hoping to raise the understanding of the materials, the practices, and the knowledge related to the culture in the Andes during pre-Hispanic periods. The researchers have studied all the painted objects and the walls at Pacamac. I don't know. Was Pacamac actually from the Wari culture? The reason the idol is not Inca is because it's carbon 14, dated to around 731 AD. Therefore, it was crafted by the Wari culture about 700 years before the height of the Inca Empire. The Wari dominated the south central Andes and along the Pacific coast of modern-day Peru from about 500 to 1000 AD. They ruled over the ancient oracle of Pacamac. It seems like the longer I go, the harder that is to say. And much of the territories earlier occupied Moke and later Chimu cultures. And I'm probably butchering all these names, and I'm so sorry, and no hate, please. But the centuries of drought, the Wari culture began to collapse around 800 AD. Determining the particular wooden idol was indeed Wari confirms to archaeologists that Pacamac was already of great ritual importance before the rise of Incas. So that's pretty cool. I mean, they're dating this back before the Incas and noticing that this Inca god, was ritualized before, the Incas were even around. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, at least to me. So anyway, we don't need to see that. I mean, how cool is that? That is so cool looking. The team researchers also applied polychromy, which revealed underlying chemical signatures on the idol, and yellow was found on the headdress, while the teeth had been painted white. Furthermore, red pigment was discovered where at first was suspected to be in blood splatters from sacrifice, but when tested, it was found to be mercury. That is wild. So, yeah, where they're pointing, I guess, is all where the mercury was found. They thought it was blood, but found out it's mercury. Which mercury back then in all those ancient cultures was usually usually used in symbolism and rituals and stuff like that. These colors inform the archaeologists that their idol has been painted deliberately, and they think that mercury might have come from cinnabar, which is only available 400 miles away. The paper also suggests that the use of this rare foreign pigment, while other colors were available locally, might have been a show of economic and political power. So the sciences, yeah, let's start that again. The scientists concluded that being dated between the 8th and 9th centuries, the statue would have been worshipped for almost 700 years. That's wild, right? That is so cool. So yeah, that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Very cool. All right. Our next story has to do with green snow. Maybe if it comes up. Let's try refreshing it. Let us try. There we go. So I don't know if you guys are I should have brought this up or okay. We'll show you here. Cuz you know, this site loads really fast. I love the site, but I hate the site as well. A while back, a chunk of meteorite came down. I don't know if it was in the same, yeah, Chelyabinsk. So it was a big write-up because it happened in 2013, but it like had magical powers, they said. Where is it? It says as of writing, museum spokesman Yuri, that last name, has no explanation, but he and his staff seem adamant that it wasn't an equipment malfunction that lifted the projected dome. Museum employee Avyar Valiyev told Sputnik News that the dome was too heavy for a thief to lift and too well protected for anyone to override the electronic system. So basically what happened was museum CC footage shows protective dome over a fragment of the meteorite rising apparently all by itself. Museum director and staff insist they or faulty electronics had nothing to do with it. So, this mysterious meteorite, excuse me, oh my goodness, of course, only while I'm recording. This mysterious meteorite apparently lifted its protective dome back in 2013. Right? So, in this same city, green snow falls on Meteorite City. One of the classics of the 14 phenomena is things falling mysteriously from the sky, whether it be bright balls of fire, creatures living or dead, rocks, or inappropriate colored precipitation. Let's go ahead and zoom that in a little bit. So, you know, I'm getting old and can't read. So anyway, there's a kind of events that occupied a sizable chunk of the Book of the Damned for compendium of all things strange compiled by Charles Fort. Wow, Missy, get it together. Most places are fortunate enough to only be listed once as victims of 14 events. If the author were still compelling stories today, the latest edition would have the Russian city of Chelyabinsk in it twice. Once for the famous meteorite that blasted over the city February 15, 2013, and whose chunk allegedly has mystical lifting powers, and the other for mysterious green snow, which fell this week and has some who remember the falling sublime wondering if they are related. Precipitation with a pronounced green tint fell on the section of Ural Road near the entrance to Chelyabinsk, between the gardens and the village of Slavino. A typical type of snow lies directly along the highway, in fact 400 meters from the border of the city and a kilometer from the Kashtek Bor. They posted a video. Let's see how long it is. Oh, it's only... Oh, that could be... Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and mute that. Because it's probably an ad if it's 28 seconds long. Oh, no. Yep. That's tinted green snow. That's pretty wild, if you ask me. That's crazy. I mean, I'm sure the camera doesn't do it justice. But that's weird. Yeah, I'd be a little leery. I wouldn't be eating that snow, would you? So yeah, green snow. Why not cosmic dust or seaweed? Or is it just an optical illusion? Someone sees green snow and snow is the color of money sawn in the installation of filters. Google Translation. Maybe it's meteorite dust? This dust, apparently that's what it is. Yep. Oh, that was ridiculous. Missy, read articles before you read. No. The Regional Ministry of Ecology explained the green snow in Chelyabinsk, a strange color rainfall at the entrance of the city from side of Yekaterinburg was recently discovered by citizens. On Monday, January 17th, department specialists left the site and came to the conclusion that the snow turned green due to dust from a nearby granite quarry. But wait, I mean, we've all lived around, well, not we lived all around granite quarries, but wouldn't we be hearing this before? I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. What do you guys think? They said this dust does not pose a threat to public health. These are particles of natural materials and rocks. Perhaps Chelyabinsk would get an honorable mention or at least an asterisk in the updated Book of the Damned. In 2017, the snow in the city also turned green. That time, the cause was also somewhat natural. A green food coloring that leaked from a collector at a paper mill, which uses to make, remember the Siberia? Green toilet paper. The great 2020 great snowfall in Chelyabinsk appears due to dust caused by blasting at a local granite quarry. Green dust from granite? It's no wonder the locals who have lived there through the mysterious dome-lifting meteorite and previous green snow are skeptical. Exactly. 2 different times. And they were saying 2 different things. The last one was made from green food color or green toilet paper, remnants of that. Yeah, food coloring that leaked from a collector at a paper mill. And now this is from... I think they would notice the green snow if the quarry's been there for years. Like, it wouldn't be the first time, right? What do you guys think? Is that messed up or what? All right. The great chupacabra debate. That's a scary chupacabra. Is it a cryptozoology animal? People are saying no. Today's article in the final installment of my 3-part feature concerning why I believe that many cryptozoology creatures such as Bigfoot, lake monsters, the Dogman, and the alien big cats of UK are actually supernatural in nature and should not be part of cryptozoology. Oh, I see. They're putting a different twist on it. Today I'm focusing on the chupacabra of Puerto Rico. It was in the mid 1990s that the phenomenon of chupacabra exploded all across Puerto Rico. Do you guys remember that? I do. I remember watching like In Search of or what are the other Unexplained Files and that. I totally remember watching that and being enthralled, like, oh my god, there's weird creatures. Um, that was back when before I was more of a skeptic. Or before I was more of a skeptic. I wasn't a skeptic at all back then. I believed everything. Head first, dived in. That's when the numerous animals were found slaughtered in the towns of Morvis, located in central Puerto Rico, and Orocovis, which is situated within the after aforementioned LA Cordillera Central Mountain Range. Locals were plunged into states of near hysteria by the attacks, which I would be too. I mean, geez, the thing was called chupacabra, which means Spanish goat sucker. Vampires were on the loose, monstrous vampires. Reports of strange killings soon began to surface for other parts of the island. The creatures were clearly on the move. So yeah, that was big, scary. But this guy's concluding that's another chupacabra. See, I've seen that one. I haven't seen the first one. But he basically thinks that they're supernatural. And that kind of goes along the way that I think too. I think Bigfoot is a protector of the forest, but he lives interdimensionally. That's why we haven't found a body, or you know what I mean? It's hard to get them on tape. It's kind of like ghost catching a ghost on camera or a spirit on camera. It's hard to do. They're interdimensional. At least that's my theory. That's my, feeling of it all. But that's why it's so hard to catch them. The Mothman, another one. I truly believe that the Mothman is a warning mechanism. Not mechanism, but a spirit that something big is going to happen. Something big that's going to happen, but can be changed. Like the bridge could have been changed. It could have been made sturdier. There was cracks. Well, they're not cracks. There was one bolt that was messed up, I believe. But things that, you know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, he saw a UFO, and that's kind of like what it looked like, I guess. For what seemed like an eternity, Rosario was rooted to the spot. While her mind was flooded with images of widespread nuclear destruction and environmental collapse in the Earth's near future. The final image was a large bald head with huge black eyes, and that closely resembled the alien face of the cover of Whitley Strieber's best-selling book, Communion. Let's go see what this looks like. Okay. All right. So your typical gray. I mean, that's not it doesn't look like, oh, stop. Yes, I know. I don't want it on my Goodreads. But yeah, it looks like what could be a typical gray. I don't know. But anyway, so afterwards, she was inexplicably drawn to read it. Obviously, if you're going through an experience and you see something written on a book or something, you're going to be like, hey, whoa, I got to read that, definitely. So that was not all. 3 days later, and only a couple 100 feet from where Rosario was working on that fateful day, two girls spotted a chupacabra in the bipedal, spiked, and decidedly menacing kind. The beast spotted them too. Evidently, however, was a monster on a mission since after peering at them for a few moments, it fell down on all fours and bounded away into the heavy undergrowth. So, apparently, in which a lot of Bigfoot people think Bigfoots are from UFOs. These people think chupacabras are from UFOs too. What do you guys think? Do you think like Bigfoot is a different type of alien? Is chupacabra a different, kind of like the insect aliens, the reptilians? We have so many of these alien species that you see out there being written about and everything. Do you think Bigfoot and all that is related to the UFO sightings? And last but not least, as it is being a mother of a daughter, there's a haunted Frozen doll. And my daughter absolutely loved Frozen. And I couldn't imagine, because when your daughters, if you have a daughter yourself, when they get hooked on something, you can't get them off of it. Frozen, excuse me. Frozen, we watched a million times. The other big thing was Barbie, 12 Dancing Princesses. Stuff like that. It's very hard to get your daughter away from. So if there's a haunted Frozen doll, it's very hard to get rid of that doll, I'm sure, without the daughter's protest. But anyway, haunted Frozen doll keeps returning after owners keep throwing it out. A Houston girl was excited to receive an Elsa doll for Christmas of 2013. The talking doll sang this popular song, Let It Go, Let It Go. Yeah, sorry guys. I rudely, sorry. Anyway, from the movie Frozen, and also spoke certain sentences from the film. Typical doll. For a while, everything seemed perfectly normal. For 2 years, it did that in English, explained the girl's mother, Emily Madonna. However, in 2015, it started doing it and alternating. Oh, yeah, I can speak. Alternating between Spanish and English. There wasn't even a button to change these. It was just random. What's even more disturbing is the doll would start talking without anyone turning the switch on. Yeah, that would freak me out a little bit. They made it a point of Elsa doll, not the one mentioned in this article. So she's not the Elsa doll that's haunted. She's just an Elsa doll. The family was so freaked out that they decided to get rid of the doll. Unfortunately for the family, the doll had other plans. As weeks after they threw it out, it was found inside a bench in their living room. The kids insisted that they didn't put it there, and I believe them because they wouldn't have dug it out of the garbage. At that point, the doll completely stopped talking, singing in English, and recited everything in Spanish. The family decided to get rid of the doll again, as Madonna's husband wrapped it up in 2 bags and put it at the bottom of the garbage can. They went on vacation and completely forgot about the creepy doll until they returned from their trip and their daughter found it in the backyard. Some skeptics believe that someone placed the doll there as a prank, but Madonna was quick to dismiss that. The doll has some marker on her from my daughter coloring over the years, so I know the doll that reappeared was the original and not a replacement. Most logical thinkers believe it's a prank, but I don't understand how or when it was done, especially because the garbage truck had taken it away. They tried to get rid of the doll, but this time they decided to mail it to a family friend living in Minnesota. They didn't even put a return address on a package order to make sure that the doll could not find its way back. It did make its way back to Minnesota to their friend Chris Hogan's house, who said that the doll is now taped to the brush guard of my Jeep. If anything weird happens, I'm welding her into a steel pipe and sinking it in the lake of the woods. That's funny. Will the doll somehow find its way back to the Madonia house in Houston, or will it stay put in Minnesota? Can you imagine if he did that? If he rammed the doll into something and then, put it in the lake and it still made its way back? That would freak me out. Yeah, that totally would freak me out. I had a similar experience with a doll. Me and my ex-husband, we had a baby girl. We bought her a doll. She loved the doll for a while. I'd say about after 6 months of having the doll, she started freaking out. Now, she'd take the doll to bed, and it was one of those plastic normal, I lay the head back, it closes its eyes, the typical cheap doll, I guess. And one night she woke up screaming, saying, "Get it away from me, get it away from me. It hurt me. Talking about this doll, right? And I thought maybe, okay, she rolled over on it and it's a kid. She just said, it hurt me, get it away from me. So we took it away. She didn't want anything to do with that doll ever again. She didn't want it in her room. She didn't want to look at it. She didn't want to touch it. She didn't want to play with it. Nothing. In her room, in her closet, there was a board in there that you could take away, and it was like a crawl space. Because every time she knew that doll was in her room, every time we placed it in there. Like we could hide it in her closet. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. I mean, she knew that we had put it in there without seeing us put it in there. It was weird. So my ex-husband took out the board and he put the doll in the crawl space. She knew. I mean, we wanted to set up a video camera, but that back then, because my daughter was born in 93, back then, video cameras were expensive. You know what I mean? And we're newly married, newly had a child. Obviously, she was a little bit older than newborn, but so times were a little bit tough. And we were young, and he put it in that crawl space. She still knew what was in there. And it's not like she knew that there was a crawl space in there to go look, you know what I mean? It was crazy. But get it out. So this one never made it back to us, thank God, because my ex-husband, he took it apart, took the arms off, took the legs up, took the torso off, and he went to different dumpsters and threw them all out because he was like, nope, I'm not even dealing with this. To think that doll might have been haunted was scary enough for him. So anyway, there you go, my friends. I hope you liked this week's rendition of Freaky News Friday. And I hope you'll come back and see me again. Like I said, if any of you guys are watching on a different platform, head on over to my YouTube and leave your comments there of what you think about. I want to know about, would you freeze your brain or your whole body if you had that chance? Or would you do it at all? I want to know everything. Leave the comments over on Shadows of the Moon YouTube page. The link is down in the description. And yeah, I hope you have a great week. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. And I hope you have a great weekend. Take care.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.